Hey everybody, welcome to another ranking. Here's my ranking of the Zucker Brothers movies. Yes, if you're not very familiar with the Zucker Brothers, they've made a lot of very popular comedic films, and they're a duo usually, and because they are a duo, I'm going to be counting them as a duo in this ranking. Even if one of them directed one movie on their own, I'm still counting it in this ranking, as long as it's still oh shit, sorry. As long as it's still Jerry and David Zucker, I'm counting that in this ranking. So that is 16 films that the Zucker brothers have directed. And yeah, let's talk about some of these films and some of my favorites. So let's get to it. Coming in number 16 is An American Carol. This is their worst film because it is not only ridiculous and horribly written and just not funny or enjoyable to watch, and the whole cast should be just almost embarrassed to play in a movie of this stupidity. It's just not that great, and it's not. It's supposed to have this cheerfulness to it and have this interesting message to it, and it just fails across the board. And it's easily the worst film I've seen that the Zucker brothers has done. But that's not saying much because number 15 is superhero movie, and this movie is just fucking stupid. The Zucker brothers were always known for their absurd satire spoof movies, and some of them are great. I'm going to be talking about some of those great films. Some of them are just trash. This movie is trash. And it just picks all the popular superhero movies at the time. Spider-Man's the biggest one they make fun of, and it's just not that funny. You can make a lot of funny Spider-Man jokes, and this movie failed to make anything funny. I guess Drake Bell tried to be famous after his show Drake and Josh and just proved otherwise that he can't be any more famous than Drake and Josh, but still, superhero movie, not that funny, not that good, and just it's one of those spoof movies that we all remember, and we're just like, wow, what the fuck were they smoking making that movie? So yeah, that's what a superhero movie is. Number 14 is My Boss's Daughter. I thought I'd put this in the last spot, but apparently not. When I looked over these movies, I'm like, yeah, superhero movies are more unbearable. An American Carol is a lot more unbearable to watch than My Boss's Daughter, and this has got Tara Reid and Ashton Kutcher. That's like a fucking double strike right there, man. Those are the two most untalented, most unfunniest people in Hollywood right now. They are just horrendous in this movie. The story is shallow and stupid. It doesn't make sense, and just it's basically just like putting two very good-looking people in it, and they have zero chemistry, zero charisma, and no laughs whatsoever. It's a shitty romantic comedy, and I hate everything about it. It's just trash. Number 13 is Scary Movie 4. The Zucker brothers did not do all the scary movies. Keenan Ivory Wayans did the first two. That was like the Wayans brothers, and I actually the first scary movie I might actually do a whole video on the very first scary movie because there's some actually quite funny stuff in it. Scary Movie 2 is stupid. Scary Movie 4, this is ridiculous. This is when I feel like this is the point when we were just getting sick and tired of these scary movies. We're sick of them. We're tired of them. It's the same shit. It's basically taking movies that are popular and just making fun of them. Scary Movie 4, the scary movies are supposed to make fun of horror films, and Scary Movie 4 makes fun of like basketball players and shit like that. The biggest ones they make fun of in this one is like The Grudge and War of the Worlds and Saw and shit like The Village, and just the jokes don't work. They're just not that funny, and I just don't like this one. This and 5 are just like they're just painful spoof movies. They're like, hey, remember that movie? Hey, remember that movie? That's the fucking joke, and it's not fucking funny. Number 12 is Basketball. This one has a huge fan base because it's this is Matt Stone, and oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone, guys who create South Park. They're the main characters in this movie, and I think they wrote this movie, but the Zucker brothers directed it, and it's not funny. I don't see the cult praise that people give this movie. A lot of people call this movie such an underrated classic. Why did the critics pan it? I actually understand why the critics pan this one. It's not that funny. And just, I know I'm picking apart just a screwball comedy, but the rules of basketball make no sense. Just the rules of the sport they invent in this movie, it just doesn't make sense. You cannot combine baseball and basketball together. It's just the rule and the psych outs. It's really stupid. And just there's no way this sport would actually get made in real life. It's just ridiculous. And I think Trey Parker and Matt Stone are very funny guys, and just I don't know, they're not that funny in this movie, and they're not enjoyable to watch. So I just don't think it's that good. There's a joke or two that I kind of snickered and laughed at, but I don't think it's that great. And I know a lot of people think it's underrated. I don't. Was that number 12? Yeah, number 11 is The Naked Gun 3, or The Naked Gun 33 and 1/3. This is the Naked Gun movie when I was just tired of the Naked Gun movies. Like, I was a Naked Gun fan, but this one just it took the spy spoof genre and just made it kind of boring, dull, and very tedious. It repeated a lot of jokes from the first two films. The plot wasn't all that interesting, and Leslie Nielsen, as much as he is trying his best, it's just not that great. I think this is one of the most lackluster spy spoof movies. I think the other one he did, I forget the other one he did in the 90s. It was worse than this, but I'm not a huge Naked Gun 3 fan. Number 10 is Scary Movie 3. I know I put it over Naked Gun 3. Scary Movie 3 has some funny jokes. I will admit that. It is a stupid movie. It is ridiculous how bad this movie is. But there are funny jokes in this movie. There's a scene where George Carlin plays the architect from The Matrix. And it's actually a very funny scene. It's very, 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 very funny. There's even a couple scenes with Leslie Nielsen. It's kind of funny. Like, there is moments of humor. There's a lot of stupid poop shit jokes and fart jokes. And, remember this movie? That's what a lot of spoof movies are. Remember that movie? That's what these fucking films are. And that's why I'm not a big fan of them. But this one is not great, but I laughed some moments, so I give it that. Number 9 is The Naked Gun 2 and 1/2. Naked Gun 2 is actually pretty good. The first half is hysterical. The second half gets a little less funny, but it's still very good. Leslie Nielsen is still great, and I love some of the weird scenarios and the weird slapstick they put in this movie. It's just a fun time. It's just a good time. Okay, number 8 is First Night. First Night is an underrated film. It's a King Arthur story. It's got, what's his name? Sean Connery and Richard Gere, and it's about the story of Arthur and Lancelot and a romance movie. I quite enjoy this movie. I kind of grew up with this movie, and I've always enjoyed it. I think there's an extended cut of it, and it actually makes the movie a lot more enjoyable. I like the romance. I like that the Zucker brothers, well, one of the Zucker brothers, I think this was Jerry Zucker who directed this movie. I like that he went more of a serious tone. I think Jerry Zucker is a much better filmmaker than David because he makes like serious films. And this one he actually tried to be deep and serious and romantic, and it kind of worked for me. Number 7 is Rock and Roll High School, a fun, enjoyable rock and roll musical. It doesn't have a very well-known cast, but it's got some good, funny humor, good musical numbers, good dance sequences, and actually some pretty good shot compositions. So definitely check it out if you like musicals. Number 6 is Rat Race. Rat Race, I might make a whole video. I'm actually going to make a whole video on Rat Race and how I think it is an incredibly underrated comedy film. It is a remake of It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World, and it's not as good as It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World, but it's still a very good film with a great stellar cast and some very, very, very funny jokes. I really enjoy Rat Race. I think it's uber underrated, and I'll make a whole video about how much I enjoy that movie. Number 5 is The Naked Gun, the very first Naked Gun. Really great movie. Funny satire, great spy movie. It's got even some silly, fun action. Leslie Nielsen steals the whole movie. It's super fun. Number 4 is Top Secret, a very, very funny Val Kilmer movie. Very fucking funny movie. Really good satire. They satire dance movies and other things. It's weird, but I love it. It's a very weird film, though. Number 3 is Ruthless People. Very enjoyable, goofy, dark comedy with a great cast, great humor, and really good writing. Number 2 is Ghost. Ghost was also just Jerry Zucker. Very great film. I love the movie Ghost. I love that it combines like drama, romance, and horror and supernatural all in together in one film. I love the whole cast. I love Patrick Swayze in this movie. I love Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg. I think all of them give a great performances. There's some funny scenes, deep scenes, romantic scenes, emotional scenes, and even truly horrifying scenes. Love this movie. It's an iconic film. It's one of the best. The best, though, is Airplane. Number 1 is Airplane. It's easily there's no question, no doubt. This is one of the funniest comedies ever made. It's super hilarious. It satirizes airports. That is so weird. It didn't even satirize a movie or television or a pop culture. It satirized airports and being on an airplane. It's very, very funny. Lloyd Bridges, Leslie Nielsen, the whole cast is fantastic. There's a Saturday Night Fever joke that it just makes me laugh every time. Just a lot of iconic jokes. Come on, Don't Call Me Shirley. Like, great, great movie. And definitely check it out if you've never seen it. So, yeah. That was my quick ranking of the Zucker Brothers movies, from my least favorite to my favorites. On the comment section below, please tell me, what is your ranking of all the Zucker Brothers movies? If not, what is your favorite and least favorite? Comment below, let me know. And as always, like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.